For being part of Smart Mates Business. Thank you for sticking around with us. We continue to try to break down URBRA's performance in the last 10 years. URBRA at 10, the Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority. Okay, Madam Lydia, let's get into the contribution to the sector. Not the sector, Uganda's economy. What has URBRA done to ensure that at least in terms of let's say in terms of the savings schemes and all this, what have you done the last 10 years?
Okay. Over the last 10 years, the sector, the retirement benefits sector, the pension sector has grown from less than 4 trillion in 2014 when we started keeping the records to the current 20 trillion. Now, remember that these are all savings by Ugandans. When you have 20 trillion saved in the economy, it means that you're contributing directly to domestic savings. And most of this is invested here in Uganda. Over 70% of that 20 trillion is invested in government securities, meaning that the government is actually borrowing domestically. And that's quite an achievement. Even the other investments are largely invested here in Uganda. Equities, properties, they're invested here in Uganda. So we are contributing to the investment environment in the country. All that money is invested locally into government securities. That means that we are enabling government. We are contributing to domestic savings significantly. But as of 2021, we're contributing 11%, above 11% to the national GDP, and that's not a small figure. So we are contributing. Ugandans who are saving for retirement are actually enabling this economy in those ways. So we find that we're making a significant contribution, and it continues to grow, because as we all continue to work and earn and save, it means that the sector continues to. So when people save for retirement, when finally they come of age and retire at the age of 55 in National Social Security Fund, or at the age of 60 in public service and in the public service, it means that they have something in their old age. When you eradicate poverty at any level, there's a way you enhance the economy, because then people have something to spend. So imagine all these people who have saved for retirement, they go back, on average, somebody will live a minimum of 17 years in retirement. If they saved, that means that for those 17 years they're in retirement, they will be contributing because they consume goods, they hire somebody to help them at home, they access health facilities.
True.
You know, they are not just there dying in old age poverty. They continue to participate in the economy, even in their retirement. Okay. So all that, if you look at it wholesomely, it contributes to the national economy. Okay. For many years.
How have you been able to reach out to these clients and grow these clients in the last 10 years in regards to making them more aware of savings and all that?
URBRA has invested a lot of resources and efforts, a lot of energy and time in sensitizing the public. We go out, we go to the districts, we reach out, we conduct district visits, we engage our stakeholders, we come on the mass media platforms like we're here to continuously educate and inspire Ugandans about the need to save for retirement. And from that repetitive awareness creation and sensitization, you get more people having the conviction that they can start saving for retirement. So we try very much to inspire Ugandans from a very early age. As we say that as soon as you start earning your first paycheck, know that every day you live, you move closer to your retirement. So as soon as you start earning, take off a portion and save it for that time when you will not be able to work productively, when you no longer have a job, when you no longer have the energy to run around. So we conduct this education and we're seeing the fruits. That's why you see this exponential growth of the sector.
Okay. And also, has this worked for you in the last 10 years?
Yes, very much.
Okay.
When we see the sector growing and developing every day, we can actually see our effort, our input as the sector regulator. Let me give an example, and with all due respect to people who work in these other unregulated sectors.
Okay.
We have some sectors that are not regulated, and you see, we look at the border sector, for example. It's unregulated, everybody knows, and people are doing things the way they want. And the results are out there for all to see. We can also look at our very own sector before the regulator was established. The chaos that reigned, the scandals. When you're operating in a sector that is very well guided, that has clear standards, regulations, and all actors are complying, the fruits are enormous. So this growth that we see for us as URBRA, we are proud of the sector development. We are proud of the growth that this nation is seeing in the retirement benefits sector. And we continue to encourage Ugandans. If you have any problem, if you have any queries, if you want any lessons, if you want to learn anything, you're welcome to URBRA, because that's what we do. And for us, the results are seen in how the sector is developing.
Okay. Now, speaking of looking at how the sector is developing, we have a very huge challenge with the workforce in Uganda, which is, I would say, the Bank of Uganda recently revealed that only 1% of working Ugandans receive above $1 million. Now, if you break down these figures, you get to realize it's very difficult for people to save for retirement. And currently, people are only saving for consumption, I should say. But if you look at that situation, what do you believe has created the crisis that we are in?
I think it's largely an attitude issue.
Okay.
We need to change the attitude towards saving for retirement, or towards saving. We tend to think in a very short-term manner. We think about 1 year from now. We don't have that long-range view of life. And that means, and that's why people save for consumption. When somebody is saving, they're saving, okay, I'm saving for my December holiday. That's very short-term. We need to start projecting. We need to start having that hope, that look, that there is a future which is 20 years from now. And we need to develop a saving culture. The saving culture in Uganda is lacking. Saving should be a culture, a practice, that you should save before you spend. And when we save, we need to also have targets. We need to say, I'm going to save for emergencies. I'm going to save for retirement. And I'm going to save for my children's school fees. I'm going to save, you need to create the different pots. Otherwise, if you put everything in one pot, you'll get yet into another crisis. I'll give you an example. When COVID-19 dawned on us, and we realized that actually life had come to a standstill and many of us wouldn't be able to earn that daily income, we started demanding for our NSSF savings. We started demanding for our retirement savings. But we said, look, those are retirement savings. You may have COVID right now, which is an emergency, but you have retirement, which is also a reality, and it's coming. Right now you have COVID, yes, but you're still energetic, you're still youthful. So we argued at that time that no, learn to save for emergencies, such that when something falls on you like that, you say, okay, I have my emergency pot. It can take me another 3 months while I determine how to expunge myself from the problem. So we need to learn to save with targets. We need to learn to save. Retirement saving is long term. My retirement savings I'll not touch until 25 years from now. Let me save and invest because I am looking at 25 years or even 30 years ahead. Emergency, okay, I'll have emergency. If I get an emergency and I'm unable to maybe to earn for the next 3 months, I should have enough money to buy me food, the basics, for that period of 3 months until I get into another job. So we need to save with targets. We need to cultivate that culture. It may not happen overnight, but it's something that we must start with the mindset, the positive, the right attitude, and then that will translate into the right practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in this sector, do you give out loans to the clients, to some of your clients?
In this sector, I'll again clarify, URBRA doesn't keep anybody's money. It's the savings schemes that keep the money.
Okay.
And there are rules that govern those funds. Each scheme has what we call a trust deed, and with its membership, they agree on how they're going to manage their money and how they're going to access or not access. But let me say it straight. Retirement savings are for retirement.
Okay.
Now, recently, in accordance with the law, URBRA issued a new regulation which will allow savers, retirement savers, to assign up to 50% of their savings.
But if in an event when someone is almost dying or the person is dying?
I don't know who determines that somebody is almost dying. But we have
maybe the doctors, the experts.
Yes, but we have provisions within the law. We have provisions within the law where some people can use or explain their cases and get access to their savings. I'll give you an example. I was giving an example of the regulations allowing us to assign up to 50% of our savings to housing loans and mortgages, such that you use your savings as collateral with a banking institution, with a financial institution. You can get a loan and 50% of your savings are your collateral so that you can acquire a home. We have learned that many people, when they retire, they don't have a home. Okay, and when they get their lump sum payout, they usually want to use it to start constructing a home, which means that sometimes they may not even have enough money to complete that home. So this new regulation allowing you to use up to 50% of your collateral for a housing loan or for a mortgage should enable us to get homes before we retire. Okay. But there are also other conditions. I may not go into the detail because of the time. There are provisions within the law, circumstances under which a member may be able to access their savings before the mandatory age of 55.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now, with 10 years down already, what next for URBRA? What is the future of the Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority?
Okay. I think the future belongs more to the sector, okay, and the people of Uganda. We are the regulator. If people are not saving, if the custodians are not in business, if fund managers are not in business, we don't have anyone to regulate. So the future of URBRA belongs to the Ugandans and the savers, largely. So what we're going to do as URBRA, we are going to continue with our efforts of inspiring Ugandans to continue saving for retirement, okay, for their own future. We're also going to try and extend our coverage, because right now, only 18% of Uganda's entire workforce, estimated at 15 million, is saving for retirement. And that has been really an improvement over the last 10 years. Every Ugandan, every working Ugandan saves for retirement, whether they're in the formal employment or in informal employment. We realize that many people who are in informal employment are not actually saving for retirement, because some are, but they don't have a structured plan the way you see for formal employees. Okay. So we want to focus there. All these friends on borders, all these friends in the market, what is their plan for retirement? Because old age does not discriminate. It doesn't. It comes to you in formal employment. It also comes to the border rider and the market lady. What happens? What is their plan for retirement? We want to delve into that area and bring Ugandans on board. Yes.
Okay. And, well, How are you planning now to celebrate the 10 years? Let's go into the celebrations, because I do believe now it is time for, fairly merrymaking, I should say. But how are you planning to celebrate this?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, of course, we have to congratulate ourselves upon this milestone. It's not every day that people make 10, especially in this area of business. So as URBRA, we have intensified our public education campaign. We continue to encourage all Ugandans to come and access our free services. If you have ever had a question about your retirement benefits, please come. We are more generous and more available as part of our celebration. But we shall have a public symposium.
All right.
And that public symposium is scheduled for 7th July. That is next Thursday.
Okay.
It will be at the Serena Hotel in the Victoria Hall. And it will start at 1:30 p.m. We're going to discuss the future of the pension sector, the future of the retirement benefit sector. So our stakeholders are going to be there. We're going to be debating, because now we have finished these 10 years. We want to project into the next 10 years. Where is the future? What is our desire? Where should we invest our time? Where should we invest our money and our efforts? So we shall be discussing that. And we welcome members of the public. The invites have already gone out, but we shall also be streaming this event live on Zoom. You can follow us on our social media platforms so that you can, see how to, tune in and follow the discussion. That's on Thursday, 7th July, next week.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you're parting shots to the Ugandans out there.
Okay. Dear fellow Ugandans, I just want to thank you very much. Those that are saving, we are proud of you. The over 2 million people that are saving for retirement, thank you so much. We're proud of the 65 schemes, which include umbrella schemes, 12 umbrella schemes, and 200 participating employers. We are proud of you. Thank you for being part of the sector. We also want to appeal to those that have not yet started saving for retirement. Please come on board. Old age poverty is undesirable.
Okay.
Save for retirement to avoid old age poverty, to avoid becoming a burden for your children and for your friends. When you're an old woman or an old man and you don't have any source of income, life can be miserable. So let's all save for our retirement, because as long as we hope to live long enough, we surely must come to a retirement age. And we better have something to fall back on when that time comes. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's Lydia Mirembe, Manager Corporate and Public Affairs at the Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority. They're marking 10 years. As URBRA is marking 10 years, SMB is marking 1 year on air, and you can as well join into the celebrations here. So thank you very much for being part of our discussion today. We're looking at URBRA at 10 years. It's a decade of regulating that particular sector of savings. Is it only savings and saving for retirement? Or retirement
savings and investment. You don't just save, we also ensure that our savings are invested.
All right. Okay, and
Yes.
for the people who are supposed to be part of the celebration, what are they supposed to have?
Well, they just have to come and be happy with us.
All right.
We're going to share more details on our social media platform at URBRA UG, and many other adverts and promotions on the mass media, so that you can be part of the celebration. Just join us wherever you are if you're not able to join us physically.
All right.
So that we bask in the glory of the
Okay.
10th anniversary.
And keep saving, have the attitude for saving for retirement, because it's always good to maintain that lifestyle you've been used to in your youthful stage. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko, and this has been Smart Means Business. Till tomorrow on the 1st of July, have a blessed day. Coming up is Financial Markets.